In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes, I'm needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? It's Tuesday evening, our new time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for tuning in to Blerd's Eyeview. I am your man on the wall, Chris Fury. Thank you for tuning in. And if this is your first time here, thank you for checking us out. And you will not be disappointed. Show your love on the YouTube channel. Check us out on Always Press Record. And coming soon to the Blerd station, BNN, the Blerd News Network, you will be seeing us hobnobbing with some of the best and the brightest that's coming up in the Blerd world, getting behind the scenes looks and much, much more. But more on that later. But first, I got to check on my second in command. She's having a day. So talk to her nice. Lady Mandalore.
Hi. Hi.
She's under the weather, everybody.
Yeah, I'm good though. I'm good. I'm gonna get him back. though.
Yeah,
I'm getting back. I'm
gonna
come into work. Nothing on my face. Absolutely nothing. And I don't want to hear a word from not one of them.
And now you see why she's my second in command.
I'm plotting.
Oh, I love this woman. Oh my God!
Long 3 days in that hospital until Friday.
It is. Look, sometimes.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Sometimes people they want violence, and we don't want to do it, but we're not opposed to not giving your actions.
An example must be made.
That. Oh my God! Like no, she wasn't in the hospital. Our griot of horror. Our griot of horror. She's frozen again.
Oh, Lord.
Gotta get her stuff together. I love her.
Lord. No.
In the meantime, we'll get the cinematic assassin. We'll be watching going on. What's happening, man?
Laney with the grand opening, grand closing.
I call myself being the gentleman on the board, and yeah, it froze on her. She'll be back. I'm sure she will. What's going on, man? It's Tuesday.
I'm tired as hell. If
okay,
nobody knows or cares, it doesn't matter because it's our platform. I'm working out with Michael B. Jordan's trainer.
Oh, that's why you're tired. That did start.
I see how he ended up looking like that in Wakanda now. I get it.
It ain't easy. Look. Pretty soon, the assassin's gonna be like this.
That's me in about 17 and a half minutes.
I'm sorry.
It's like if you see the hat turned, that's not the signal. It's just he fell out. That's all it is.
Get y'all one of these.
Oh my God. Coming up is our engineer, our very own ship man who he lifts the warp drives to the engine fresh off his new nuptials. Yeah. Black Spartan, what's going on? Congratulations.
I was married now.
He was married.
I was married. I'm happy.
Made you an honest man.
So in our group chat, Spartan stated he tried to talk to his wife to see if he could, do a Jedi battle for the reception. She said no. And then he said, well, can we recite some of the vowels in Klingon? And she also said no. And me, being who I am, realized what the day was, and which I responded. I said, you damn genius. It's Batman Day.
There's always a contingency plan. There's always a contingency plan.
So Spartan got married on Batman Day. I don't know if the wife knows now.
Nope. So she will never know.
Don't tell nobody.
To the grave.
She'll find out when Obi has to go to the movies. That'll be the day she goes. They have their anniversary to go see that Batman marathon. That's
gonna be funny. She'll be coming back. Hey, Batman started on September 16th. Well, that's when we got.
Dun dun dun.
I'll just sit there and be like, well, happy anniversary, honey.
Kisses.
Wait, when he says it, he's gonna have to look straight forward. He can't meet her gaze at all.
That's gonna be that Michael Jackson Earth song. Just accept it as it comes towards you.
Like you got to drive that way. She can't take the both of you out.
Just have the baby in front of me. Because remember, we made this.
Wow.
See,
baby, you love him.
Baby. He need me. He need me still. He kind of still need me.
Oh, you ready? You ready, Lainey? You ready? Yep, she's ready. All right. Make sure you're not on
your mic is muted.
Brianna Horde is in building. Lady, Gig My Heart. What's going on?
Hey. As you can see, I'm in my room because that's where the Wi-Fi is strongest, and I just can't.
You just can't.
I just probably got to get like better Wi-Fi or something. I don't know.
There's no such thing as better Wi-Fi.
Right?
Wi-Fi is better when it's wired.
Well, I feel you because I wanted to walk down the aisle to Zelda, and Jay was like, "No." Okay.
Wait, he actually denied it?
Listen. Zelda has a 25th anniversary CD, and then there is a couple of things. I was like, I could walk down the aisle to this. I want to walk down the aisle to this.
There's a wedding Ocarina of Time song on that CD.
Look, if I can get
it is number 7. And it's in the middle of that. Yes, you know I'm talking about.
That was the first thing I tried.
If I can get for my next anniversary to plan a party, and I can get the influencer Dime Meach to be the DJ.
Oh my God.
That'd be good.
Part. I would do that for my 10th too. I would pay for him. That's an absolute.
Oh man, we also have our other griot. He's the man. He's like our shepherd book, without dying at the end of all of that. Navy Montel.
Baby. Wow, really? That's how we just do.
Look, Shepherd Book was the man. Now he was the man.
He's the only man that told Malcolm no, and Malcolm didn't bring that subject up ever again.
Exactly.
I respected that man with every fiber of my being, but my gosh,
Ron Glass was a genius. That was a great role, one of his great roles. But yeah,
absolutely. And my heart goes out to my fellow Capricorn who is not herself, but you know what? She is still a volcano. This is still Mount St. Helen with a t-shirt on. Okay, she about to go boom, and you know what? Fuck them. Go into work. Fuck them.
Lady Mandalore, at this point in the stage that she's feeling, if you've ever watched Tombstone, and Val Kilmer was like
Doc Holliday.
You can't even see. You see double, then I'll shoot both of you.
I watch Tombstone now. I gotta go home and watch Tombstone after this. I got
that's actually a really good film.
It is.
Tombstone is a really good film.
I'm gonna tell you, Kara's gonna go in there with just an empty cup and like, fuck him.
I swear to God, I will lick every doorknob in that bitch tomorrow, just on fucking GP.
Someone challenged Kara.
Oh, and I wore this for Kara today.
I appreciate it.
Oh my God.
This was my work attire for today.
Joy boy. I know. Here's the thing. That's my work attire every day.
Bragging ain't cute. People. Bragging ain't cute.
I wore that. I wore a graphic tee proudly underneath my scrub jacket, and it was open. Just no question.
Every day.
Nice.
Ted Court's giving you the side eye because of that. You see him right? He's giving you the side eye, sir.
See, I'd be uber petty. I go around like Marine 4. I would be walking around like Marine 4 and waiting for someone to say something.
The vibe was always. I was like, it's
just
always
cough on
on
everything. Don't even.
I'm on.
Cough on it.
I wanted them to say, why is he wearing that? You gonna tell this 300-pound black man he can't wear it? Is that what you're gonna say?
Pretty much. You gonna tell him no? Yeah, you gonna tell him no, and then come back. Let me know how that worked out for you.
You know, I know I got a great smile, but at the same time,
you for the shits.
Do not let my smile fool you.
You are for the shit.
I mean, even Lex had a smile when he handled business. No, I'm just telling you.
In the words of Doc Holliday, you are Daisy if you do. You sitting there the whole time you're on the ground. You're no Daisy. You're no Daisy.
Man, so it's been. I mean, it's not so much news because it's funny when I look at some of the news sites right now, how they're hurting. They are hurting.
Tis dry.
Oh, my heart bleeds.
That just tells you. It tells you if you're watching us now, you're in the right place.
Mm-hmm. You are thirsty.
Right now, watching pro wrestling with everything they got going on is way more entertaining than anything else right now.
Real shade or real talk. Real talk. With The Rock showing up like he did.
Yo, Friday, I lost my mind, bro.
Somebody did a post and they said somebody paid all this money to go see WrestleMania thinking he was going to be there, only for him to show up at a $20 show in Denver.
Right.
That hurts.
That's
I feel like they do that all the time. They'll have one random ass show and have one of the major folks send me a text. Major folks show up on like Thursday Night Raw or what are they?
Just something random.
The AAA show, something like that.
It just goes to show you with the rumors running about, and I still don't know if it's anything solid. But like right now, Jade is looking like she's going to WWE.
It is reported. She has reports to the Performance Center, so she's full on.
Yeah, that makes. Where else would she go?
Well, she was going to stay with AEW for a while, but apparently the new company TKO offered Jade more money, and she ran with it.
Yeah,
she could go to Japan right now. If she go to Japan right now, she'd be an absolute rock star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, New Japan will go with open arms.
That's not your if that's not your long-term plan, that's not a how many sustainable careers past 40 are we talking about?
That is true. But look at it like this.
3.
Yeah, a lot of the formidable performers out there who have made a name, they've all gone to Japan to apply their craft, to perfect it. And when they came back to the States, they were so much better for it.
It's like going down to the minors, but not really the minors.
Yeah,
when you go to New Japan, the ball game is different. Like, the ball game is different because then you come back like you came back like Adonis and Creed. You come back a totally different beast.
My point is she does not give off I want to be doing this long-term vibes. Like she wants to be good at her craft, absolutely. But this is no pun intended. This is a platform for her to jump off of into something else. So that's why I'm saying, where else would she go? WWE is the next step into The Rock's shoes.
She's going to be something past WWE. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Right now, with Vince sneaking his way back into it because of the merger with UFC, I don't want her to go. I don't.
Right. She'll get married.
With UFC?
Yeah, WWE and UFC are a part of a merger now. It's called TKO.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's gonna be cross matches.
Well, here's the messed up part.
It would have been nice, but you know.
Well, here's the messed up part, and this is why this is gonna sound very confusing. So WWE and UFC are basically under a parent, under a umbrella company, which means that WWE, UFC can still operate independently, but they report to the guy who owns Endeavor that actually created TKO, which allows Vince to still run creative, although he's not the ultimate decision maker. Which
it's like a back. Vince is really the Lex Luthor of all of this bullshit.
Yeah, like that don't make any sense.
He's really the Lex Luthor of all. Just
he's been.
Well,
he even looks like a villain now with the black hair and the little pencil mustache.
That mustache is horrible.
I said this about Vince, and I will say this again. He would rather kill his creation before he lets his son-in-law take it over and do it better.
This is true.
Vince's mustache is one of the worst things to change from my childhood.
Oh no,
I'm literally waiting for him to just hit the twirl.
Like dastardly.
I will turn the damn TV off at that point.
No.
Like,
here's the worst part.
Click. Nah.
Do y'all remember when he had the do-rag and he said the N-word and nobody checked him?
Yeah, I remember.
Somebody brought that up just a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, I never forgot.
Yeah,
I never forgot.
Booker T lost his shit when that camera went off. That he was not happy about that because he wasn't told about it. This was all Vince doing whatever Vince wanted to do.
Unscripted. And I'm like, you try to say it in front of Stevie Ray. You got to live with it in front of Booker T. Say it in front of Stevie Ray. That dude is old school South. Say it in front of him.
Vince was terrified.
He's still a big dude too. Yeah.
No, yeah.
He's a big dude. Yeah.
Vince was terrified. If you watch that clip again, he like sort of springs off the ground when he says it because there's so much nervous energy. Like, my nigga.
Oh, even worse. If you said it in front of Ron, I was like, Ron Simmons when you meet him because that is an ass whooping on site.
My stepfather and my brother were watching it, and the first thing I'm like, why is this clown coming down in a do-rag? And then he popped it off. We all looked at each other like, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on.
Is that what's the
my thing was, how did you walk through the locker room
unscathed? Slap off backstage.
How did you walk through the locker room unscathed is my question.
That's what I just said. I'm like, I hope they got him backstage if they couldn't get him in front of everybody.
And that's what made every ass whooping that Steve Austin offered him that much more glorious.
Listen, I don't even remember what y'all talking about, and I still agree with that.
I mean,
time Steve Austin was on screen with Vince, he gave him the business.
But you know, but everybody's like, Steve Austin never said the word nigga. I said, does he really need to?
We don't want him to. We don't want him to. Don't shoot the dream.
Literally nobody else in that entire stable would say that. Literally nobody else in that entire stable would say that. It's just him and his wife or ex-wife, whatever they are now.
Whatever they want, whatever you want to call it.
Miscellaneous, ladies and gentlemen, miscellaneous. That's all it is.
If that is not an arrangement, that is an arrangement marriage. What that is.
It's like, look here, I can take all of it, Vince.
I mean, I actually thought Triple H, the girl was arranged marriage. To be honest,
well, him and Stephanie.
Yeah, I always felt that.
That was a great work. It was a great. I had to give it to him. That if you're gonna have a shotgun wedding and make it into a great work, that's how you do it.
God, they were so wild for everything back then. Jesus,
that's wild. Right now,
WWE was something else.
Unfortunately, WWE is starting to go back to the way Vince has done things because after all the reports, he still does them freaking rewrites up until the point of the show, and you can see it in the production. You can see it, and I don't even look at it anymore. I look at it on YouTube and go, "What the? Are you serious? Really? This is what we're doing?" There's total confusion.
Vince is stuck in 1990s storytelling. It's always been big men, bigger chested women, bra and panties matches, and occasional fire.
If you look at the window that Triple H had when he was running, getting the storylines together, it was a very small window. But if you look at the window that he had, stuff was actually changing for the better.
Oh yeah,
I mean NXT. NXT was probably the greatest thing that Triple H has ever done.
Yeah.
And it was his baby until Vince killed it.
Yeah. Like if you watch the moves he was making, we just knew everything was headed in the right direction. And they turned around and just said, oh, no, not happening.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you know the reason why NXT started going the way it was going. It was after Dusty died.
Yeah.
Because Vince was scared of Dusty because Dusty had been in the business, the territory. Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Dusty was gangster.
Dusty was old school, boy.
I know.
Dusty was old school. That's why he was my boy. I mean, I love Dusty is one of my all-time favorites, and I loved him. But when he had NXT, it was beautiful. And
I'll put it this way: New Jack. If you know who New Jack is from ECW, he's only scared of one man. He said it in his interview. He's only scared of one man. It's like, well, who was it? He said Dusty Rhodes. He said this man got people everywhere. He said if he wanted you gone, you was gone. And he said, I know. He said every time I saw him, yes, sir, Mr. Rhodes. Whatever you need, Mr. Rhodes. No problem, Mr. Rhodes. He said. Say what he said. He was a jolly old white dude, but that white dude was gangster.
Dusty Rhodes was. I remember when they said it. I'm like, New Jack, eat your kids, New Jack.
Right.
Hold a grudge for a whole year, waiting to kill somebody, New Jack.
And was afraid of him. That says a lot. That says a lot when you have him, Mr. I was trying to kill him in the match. Yeah, we know. You threw him from the balcony. We know.
And
we saw it.
It admitted it.
That
was wild. But yeah, I really hope. I wish the best for Jade. She has an amazing platform. She's a beautiful woman. Number one. Just put that out there.
Yeah,
I'm not blind.
Yeah, I have not. Coming up watching a lot of wrestling and especially a lot of the women, and I've never really seen a more polarizing person. As far as the women, I'm like, does this woman take a bad picture? Like, at all?
Nope.
I'm trying to figure.
Same thing about Bianca.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening? I'm like, I like what's happening. I'm just, but yeah, I see her. I really do see her. Be like Lady Mandalore said. I really do see her going, just making this her next springboard, her next step.
But But WWE got a 2-black quota. I mean, we got Bianca. You want Bianca and Jade on the same card? In WWE's world, it's like, wait a minute, 2 powerful black women. Nope. One of y'all gotta go.
Back Nyla Jax. So
no, that woman is dangerous.
She's another force. Now you
just punch her in the butthole. That's how you beat her. You punch her in
put them in a tag team.
Tafari, I hope you caught that. That's the clip right there. That's the clip.
Wow.
I said what I said. That's her Achilles tendon, her butthole. There we go.
That was the worst. That was the worst angle ever. Well.
That's what you said.
Validating right now.
I mean, they did it all in glue. Wait.
What is going on?
It's not the fever talking. It's not
the
fever talking.
I assure you, little one, the talk of buttholes is legitimate.
Not getting punched in a whole butthole. We talk about all kinds of things, but
Kira, imagine a wrestler falling down their butt, and the first things that come out of their mouth is my hole.
Mm-hmm. It's on the internet. It's on YouTube.
It is on YouTube where she takes a bump. She takes a bump. She grabs her ass, and she says to the top of her lungs, "My hole."
You could go on YouTube right now and find it. My hole, and that's exactly how it sounds. She just said, "Get her son off." She became a meme, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on, Will. We
Go
know
ahead,
you
Will.
got
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
the lies. When have you ever been
You're
not
gonna talk,
happy?
Stars. Yes.
Yeah,
I
we
can't.
still got
I
I
fell
sidetracked.
down and said
I
my
need
We'll get to it. It's just hard to segue from that. It's just,
There's no way to ease out of that one. Pause.
oh my god.
The butthole was the primer. How about that? The butthole was the primer. There we go.
Oh wow.
Happening.
It was a whole primer.
Oh
No.
God.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what we're doing tonight.
No.
Okay, let's come back to Jesus. Let's do that.
Jesus, if you're down in Mexico. Well, I mean,
If you
thing
still
was-
want to listen,
Jesus.
The whole thing had me cracking up. I'm just saying. You know,
Yeah, it was
Okay.
what a time. What a time.
it was. We were split down the middle about how we were going to
Shut
go
up.
about this conversation.
Jesus.
And no amount of concrete can help that.
I saw it going differently in my head. I thought he was gonna sit there and say when I leave, come together like butt cheeks.
Oh.
I mean, we had to get to the bottom of the conversation. I'm just saying,
Okay.
you know.
Oh God.
gentlemen.
What?
We are on the wrong
What's this
path.
stuff?
It was the butt of all jokes. I mean, there's nothing you
Gentlemen,
can do about that.
I know it's a good joke.
I was gonna say tighten up.
But now is not the time.
Right.
It's just we just
No, we ain't.
there's no
This
way
is what we do. Let me steer this thing back. Anyway. We're wild. We have fevers, we're tired, whatever.
I have the fever.
Well, apparently so does Navy. I don't
Kids laughing. Okay, don't do that. Even
Listen, don't get a thermostat because you know that's how we take the thermostat in the butthole.
Oh Lord.
and we're back.
Yes,
Lainey.
We're back.
Oh my gosh, I love this woman.
We have got to talk.
Oh my goodness.
Star Wars.
I thought so much better of you.
Safari, you're gonna have a hell of a bunch of clips. You are gonna have a lot of clips.
At any rate.
I mean, we can't assume that this was going to be all about Star Wars. You know?
Oh no. I mean, it's the segment is timing right where it needs to be, so I can't even complain about that. Anyway, buttholes and butts aside. But guess who's going to be at J1Con? This crew. We are going to be at J1Con in November. If you want some more details, check this out.
At the Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Anime, gaming, cosplay, music, and more. J1 Studios presents J1Con with special guests Mark Hildreth, Katara Colbert, Michelle Knotts, Greg Hauser, Allison Lee Rosenfeld, Brian Newton, Mega Ran, Stereo Titans, and Nick Arcade's Phil Moore. Weekend passes are only $40. Go to j1con.com.
Yes, we are. The crew of Blerd's Eyeview will be there at J1Con starting in November. If you've seen us at BlerdCon in live action, wait till you see us in New Jersey. We're going to cut up. Not like what you've seen prior to that, but we're going to be there doing giveaways. You never know what kind of game show we got in. Yes.
Do not give them hope.
Speaking of hope,
give them hope.
A new hope.
Speaking of hope, let's talk a new hope.
Brand new hope.
So we there was a small show or a small movie that was introduced in 1977. It was called Star Wars. This opened up a whole new world of possibilities, characters, and a whole new genre that has spanned decades at this point and is still going. They have merchandise beyond television shows, Christmas specials. Yes, we're talking about the Christmas special too. I know it's the redhead stepchild. Let it go.
And fanaticism. Don't forget fanaticism.
Fanaticism. The Ewok cartoon. Toys beyond toys beyond toys. And now lightsabers. Good Lord. I never thought I would see the day we get lightsabers like we get them now.
I will get one by next year. Mark my words.
I think I'm gonna have one before the month is
Maybe you need to have it now.
Dragging.
I have an idea for a saber, but it's gonna take some time.
Jesus,
just go to Dragon Con. That's all you gotta do. The vendor at Dragon Con is phenomenal.
Who is it? Is it one of the NeoPixel ones?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not there and you're there next year, you have to FaceTime me.
Say less, boo. Say less. You ain't saying nothing. You ain't saying nothing. I already got my hotel, so I'm ready for next year.
So this series, this franchise has introduced so much, and it's meant so much for so many different generations. And even now, where you have shows like Ahsoka, The Mandalorian, even Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan, and Andor, and good Lord, just it goes on and on because it's such a massive universe, and it means so much to so many people, from the old schoolers who were introduced to it, to the prequel children, till even now. This franchise has meant a lot to a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, but it all boils down to what George Lucas always said: is Star Wars is for everybody.
Let the church say amen.
Amen. Amen.
I am probably one of the few who can actually take the good with the bad and just say, I can deal with it, I can deal without it, and put it to the side. I love the originals.
Really? How do you come up here with these faces? Stop that.
Yeah, because I can't pull her up quick enough. But I can actually watch the originals, which you want to talk about practical special effects. Still pretty much hold up, because if you've seen what it looked like behind the scenes, these were miniature sets they used.
Yep.
In wire work and it puppetry. Jim Henson.
Hand-painted sets and stuff.
Hand-painted sets.
This week.
Yeah, it still amazes me exactly how much they've done.
The camera
back
work.
then.
Oh, the camera work was everything. So much with so little. Oh my goodness.
And it amazes me exactly what they're willing to experiment with and use. What they've pulled off. Granted, like with the prequels, that was probably their first. They were one of the first studios to really run with CGI that way. It was a test in progress. That's just what it was. It was fresh. It was fresh.
For what it wasn't that bad either.
No, storytelling wise, it definitely wasn't
that bad.
Although Qui-Gon had to die.
Yeah.
I didn't Qui-Gon had to die.
Listen.
Yeah. I mean, Darth Maul is the only one to take out Liam Neeson. I've never seen him die in anything else.
Right.
But even bad CGI aside, storytelling has always been that core, and being able to go above and beyond what they have. So where do we start? Let's start at what is now considered episodes 3 through 6, which to us is
1 through 3.
Yeah, it's still considered 1
it's
through
3.
1
through 3. I don't care what these blubber loving people talk about. No, it's 1 through 3. Okay. I don't care about their feelings. We gotta see what happened from the beginning. Well, here's the beginning for you. You want to do it? Write a book. Oh wait.
Now is it now? That's one way to tell a story. I mean, it's it says a lot when you can take a film and come out with what you consider your original vision, and we'll never know unless George Lucas actually says this is what he meant to do.
But let it stay in notoriety. Let it stay in that era of notoriety. We don't
and to see what we consider the originals 1 through 3, and then just say this is an amazing piece of work, turning around, and then you get the prequels, which tells which to us is considered 3 through 6, but to chronological orders it's 1 through 3, and I'm like, well, tomato.
Yeah.
We got a story, right? So
but it's an epic story. I mean, like you said, it's an epic story. So depending arguably where you want to consider the genesis of it all, you don't really have a bad starting point anywhere.
No, you don't. Because I mean, unless you're one like myself who would like to show your young ones the original first for certain reasons. because everybody wants to know how that feels to find out about Vader.
I have to know which side he picks. I have to show him both sides and let him stand back and pick.
It's like he was a pretty boy at one point. I don't like him. He was pretty at one point.
I'm sorry. That's the reason. That kind of thinking is the reason why I'm doing with Obi. I'm just gonna set down a Jedi lightsaber and a Sith lightsaber. I'm gonna see which one he goes for.
Even with, and I was just having this conversation with a gentleman this week about, because he's watching Andor right now, and he hadn't seen Rogue One, and I said, okay, well, go ahead. He was saying how Andor has a very slow burn, and it's a very slow burn, but if you know what's going on, it works.
Yes.
I said, go ahead, watch Andor, and then watch Rogue One.
Yep.
And then watch the originals. That's how you get it. Then you get it. And he was like, I keep seeing this scene, people show it, and I'm like, what scene is it? And he was like, with Darth Vader, and I said, and that's why he's one of the most badass people in the galaxy.
Jesus.
To this day, that scene in Rogue One will forever be like, literally sitting in the movie theater and looking over and say, that's why.
This is what I wanted for the originals and didn't realize I wanted it for the originals when I watched it.
Yeah. They're very good. They've been very, very well, especially lately with Filoni and Favreau. They've been really good with the details. Callbacks and details and making things fit. And that's kind of 7 through 9. You have to. Just not now. You have to, but not now.
Ooh. Flag on the plate, Kara.
Saying very little, but saying a lot. What the deuce?
They have a way. We're very protective. No matter which kind of fan you are in this genre, we're very protective. You just don't want to throw away story, right?
Right.
Facts.
So when you get
7 through 9.
Yeah, I knew she was going to say it. I knew it.
I set it up.
She did not disappoint me.
I set it up. She shoots him down. This is why we work so well. So bad connections aside with 7 through 9, because even Mark Hamill has had he's even said his piece about it. There were definitely some moments throughout that particular series that stand out. I mean, probably one of the best ways they handled the general.
Yeah,
our only known princess is because Carrie Fisher had passed during the filming. Was probably the best way to address that. The last thing you want to do is see somebody take such an iconic character and CGI her the rest of the film. And because good Lord, we just could imagine the blowback from that. But seeing how they addressed it and how they used it, I'm like, that's even better. I'm fine with that. However, I did want the original crew back together at least one more time.
I'm actually okay with the way that it happened. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Same.
Yeah.
No, I mean, because I think the most gut-wrenching scene to this day from that trilogy is hearing Chewie lose it.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That shook me in the movie theater, and I'm just like, because it wasn't Han dying.
No.
Chewie's death roll.
Like watching his own nephew kill his father. It wasn't that. It was seeing Princess Leia, who he viewed as his true sister too, and seeing her and hearing her death, because he stood by her thick and thin, and hearing her death, and he just lose it. I'm like, stay away, let that. You don't know what this man getting ready to do. Just let him go.
Let the Wookie be.
And just seeing that breakdown, that brought a tear to my eye. I'm like, that shit hurt. But we got some cool characters out of it.
Yeah, but they still screwed us over. I'll never let that go.
Oh, I'll never forgive him for the Finn. I'll never forgive him for that.
How dare you tease? How dare you tease a black Jedi and then you make Rey the child of the Force when you're not a child of the Force?
And it wasn't so much Rey. I didn't have a problem with it. It could have been a better connection.
Mm-hmm.
I had a problem with you taking Boyega's Finn character and put him out sideline me.
Yes.
I loved his relationship with Rey. I loved his relationship with Poe Dameron. That was awesome. But the way you sidelined his character, I was upset by that. I'm like, you gave us all of this. It was such a build-up, and it's like, you know, we're watching this thing. It's just like, yeah, eventually he's going to be a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And he never got that payoff.
But let's be honest, his background story would have been such a more impactful hit than hers.
Yeah. Because you've seen where he was going with it. He was accepting certain things. You've seen where he was going. That's a story arc. That was a good story arc.
Mm-hmm. And dare I say it, John Boyega's portrayal of Finn actually brought a lot of people of color to the theater to see Star Wars. He was a literal gateway. Nothing wrong with the franchise, but there's a lack of inclusivity in the portrayal of characters. You see them more. If you see someone of color, they're blue, they're green. No.
Yeah,
I'm talking about bringing somebody in who is us, who looks like us. And
shout out to Ahmed Best.
Man,
his redemption episode.
You want to talk about redemption?
Yes.
Beautiful fucking redemption.
Yes.
You know the true backstory and seeing how far he came and how close he came to that.
Yeah.
And seeing that he saved Grogu, damn it. and people cheering him on, even fans, because he was originally Jar Jar Binks. We'll put it out there, but those children that seen him as Jar Jar Binks actually love Jar Jar Binks.
Sorry, I was gonna do Jar Jar, but I'm not gonna do it.
Whose children?
I'm about to say I don't care about you, to be honest with you. I didn't hate him. I didn't love him.
Yeah,
he didn't bother me.
Lisa don't like me. Lisa might know how I feel about this.
No, my animated minstrel show. No, I did not like
Don't
you.
say that.
Oh my god,
at all.
But I think him, and it wasn't the redemption. It wasn't a dense. It was just, I don't know. That was a point in time. Those prequels. That was a point in time they were really trying to get kids on board.
Yes.
You know, for the merchandise, for the toys, because they had a lot of toys for those prequels. They had a lot of toys for those prequels.
Toy licenses are going to be been the death of so many other franchises, even TV cartoon shows. Oh, you can't make a toy out of it? We're going to cancel the show.
That's what it
What's
was.
the fucking point?
Merch was 80% series.
That was really what other than the storyline, nothing wrong. But the visuals, everything was about merchandise.
Was a video game.
I mean, yogurt wasn't wrong. Yogurt wasn't wrong. merchandising.
It wasn't wrong. If you couldn't push yogurt after your series was over, you got canceled.
So I mean, they did. They had cereal, they had cartoons, they had toys, they had games, clothing. They really pushed Valentine's Day. Good Lord, I remember seeing those. They pushed a lot, you know, and it was really hard. Other than Revenge of the Sith, which was a fantastic, and let's talk about that too. Fantastic storytelling bookend to that whole series, especially between Ewan McGregor and Christian Haydenson. Those lightsaber scenes.
Mustafar, what? Yeah,
beautiful.
One of the best in the whole franchise, period.
I think what the prequels did, they set the standard for stunt work. Especially because we're seeing it now, especially in Ahsoka. We're seeing it. You know, what Christian Hayden was doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
There's fight scenes we didn't get that you're just like, wow.
So even now with Obi-Wan, the two of them coming back and working with each other, it's still the standard. They still set a standard.
That's being at the end.
Like men of a certain age, they're holding it down. Right, it's still good.
You didn't kill Vader.
Old gang.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Just watching them, like I said, behind the scenes, watching them do their thing, I'm just like, I can sit here and watch this, like just this, because you can tell they're working. These guys are working. They train for this. I can respect. I can really respect an actor who comes with their craft and say, "Oh no, I don't need the stunt double unless it's that dangerous." But I can really expect
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is always doing it. But they really step into the role and say, "No, I want to learn because one, I'm a fan too."
Yeah.
You know, like how many people have we seen after the originals literally are fans of the franchise, and they've experienced the roles of being in that world. To walk in and say, "Oh, of course, why not? Yes."
But it just goes to you, number one, that the character they have, and number two, the showrunner and director. Because if you have that type of great chemistry, I mean, let's look at Gunn. Every one of people Gunn is directed. Would you jump in anything Gunn's directing? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No doubt.
Not a negative one among the bunch.
And they this is one of those things, watching those scenes, and I'm like, God, that would have been an amazing different take or different look at a battle. You know, watching Ahsoka and seeing Rosario Dawson learn to battle with both hands and do a fantastic job doing it.
It's fun.
It really is. It is. And even in that series, and I know we're all over the place. We're not supposed to be in an order because the movies never came out in order. Even in that series, watching her and Haydenson team up and seeing, if you've watched Rebels, if you watch Clone Wars, and then you're seeing these two, and it's like you're seeing the Master and Snips go at it again. Yeah. But live action this time.
Yeah.
And it's fucking good.
And then
it felt so authentic too. That was
it does.
It felt
and that's because they've gone to school together. They went to school together.
Yeah.
So they know each other already. So there's already that connection. And, well, oh yeah, I know her. That's my people.
But
welcome to the club.
Glad you made it.
I'm sorry, God.
So good to have you here.
So, I guess speaking about World Between Worlds, oh God. Oh, before we get further along, I'm not putting or eating crow or whatever you want to call it. When I say animated minstrel show, I am not speaking of Mr. Ahmed Best. A check is a check. You do not see how your character is going to be drawn or created when you're doing that voice acting stuff. So I am not coming at you, Mr. Ahmed Best. You do you, boo-boo. I love you. However, the writers that knew what the end result was going to be, I take pause.
Here we go.
Say, let me keep talking.
You know what? I'm gonna eat my words because you're not wrong, especially married to a Jamaican. I'll give you that.
Look.
But
I can see Lady Mandalore doing hitting that. I can see Lady Mandalore hitting that rock move and be like, let me come here.
Just one,
it's a little too close to a certain nationality. Too close.
Where'd you get this from? Where'd you get this from?
Take a seat. Take a seat.
Yeah.
Oh no, you won't be standing long. Trust me. You want to sit down.
I mean, the first time you heard Misa, I'm like, why? Why? You about to have the whole bomba clot on your ass. Why?
There's a lot that I'm
not going to do it, Laney.
That I had pause with, such as that, like you said, Laney, with that, and how they treat, what was his name? They played young Anakin, Josh. I can't think.
Wow.
I can't think of the actor's name.
They bullied his ass bad.
Yeah. Now
they bullied him to the no end.
And this is the upset.
I'm like, oh, he was okay for me.
He was just a kid.
Yeah.
He's just a kid. And we still see that toxicity. We still see that from Daisy Ridley to Rosemary Tran John Boyega, he was clapback king. Fuck it. I
Oh.
wish you would.
John's like, fuck you. You say what you gotta say. Go ahead.
Today.
He was pulling the James Gunn moment. He was pulling the Jim Gunn moment. He was getting on Twitter like, oh no, I got time. I got time.
See, I feel like, all right, I know we're supposed to talk about the toxicity.
Mhm.
I feel like, especially after seeing the Star Wars celebration this past year, I don't know who these people are that come at these actors for the roles that they play. They are not standard for the fandom. People that are into Star Wars and not just spouting bullshit for clicks, likes, and attention don't talk about this series. The entire point of Star Wars is that it's a universal. Yeah, Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, that's the name.
It's supposed to be a universal platform. It's not about what you look like or where you come from. It's about your delivery. It's about what you're about. It's your insides that matter.
I think that you're also taking that from being a Black person also. Because white fans think of that very differently.
I don't know. It might be a generational thing. Because I've come across a lot, especially recently. I've come across a lot of Star Wars fans that are not melanated like us. That don't think that way. They wanted to see what was going to happen with Finn. They saw the bullshit that was going on. So I feel like I want to believe that there were a lot more outsiders just stirring the fucking pot that weren't.
That's what it is.
It's always outliers.
That's exactly what that is.
Outliers. New fans who come into it because what they see, they wanted to line up to their beliefs. And I proudly call Basement Virgin all day, every day, because if you ever have a conversation,
that's what it is.
They are, because they don't even know. They have no perception of what life is all about when they finally come out of their mama's basement and they walk out into the real world and they go to a convention and they start being a part of these conversations. You can tell where their mind is based on their ideology, especially if it's just a simple conversation about, okay, lightsabers. Well, I don't like this one because this is according to this. You've never touched a woman, have you?
Well, like you said, maybe it's their perception. That it's what they're used to seeing. If all their heroes was a certain African American or a certain rice cake warrior,
That's why I say what I say.
Safari said it best.
He said they ruined the African Americans ruined the galaxy, and the one Black man who tried to save it was Hold. This is true. This is true. But even the original, you had at that time one of the smoothest Black men alive renegade, and that was Billy D. Williams playing Lando Calrissian.
Calrissian.
That's why I'm thinking of Clarissa explains it all.
Like Calrissian and Clarence.
Clarence and Clarissa explains
Clarence Rissian. That's how we
wow.
But
that's why they didn't let John Boyega get his shit off. It's because we already gave you the smoothest motherfucker in the galaxy.
They gave us the
baddest motherfucker in the galaxy. What else do you Black people want?
We give y'all one per trilogy. That's all.
We get one per trilogy, maybe a stint in a stint spot in one of the shows. Who knows? But this is true. Like when we got excited when we found out Sam Jackson was excited when he found out he was
Jedi. Solo. You want to be in Solo? Yeah, we could put you in Solo. No problem. We can make this work for you. Absolutely.
I mean,
what about that Lando character, Bob?
I mean, how many people of color can say I was in Star Wars, number one, and two, I got to pick my own color. Like that video of Sam talking to George Lucas, and he's like, "Can mine be purple?" And George is like, "Why not?"
Don't mean it.
Sam Jackson, I'm not going to tell you no. Well, like, but I mean. But wanting to see more of that character, because trust me, he wasn't for the shits.
we're starting to see more characters of color come up in the universe, especially on Disney Plus with the different shows.
Look who's writing, look who's running the ship.
And you can see a difference. And not only are you seeing a difference, you're seeing more fans come out who can connect with the characters that they see, whether it's hero or villain, Jedi or Sith. They can connect with them, and they sit down and they bring their kids to watch these shows. And that's been the key thing the entire time.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't sure if he did or not, but because I was just a kid when it came out. But I mean, it couldn't have been too much because it's Billy fucking D. Williams.
Listen, I'm
that man know how to smooth walk off and not give a damn about anybody. He been doing
Billy D was too sexy to cater.
that so. Even he's like Lizzo and Jack Black.
Diana Ross, what you got?
I wasn't even mad about Lizzo and Jack Black. As a matter of fact, Lizzo's dress looked amazing, and I wasn't expecting Jack Black, but I'm glad I got him. I actually like Jack Black.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, so I'm glad that, like you said, Navy. I'm glad we're getting more inclusion. I'm glad we're getting more representation and put into these different characters. I'm glad they went ahead and grabbed Donald Glover to say, let's play Lando and pull it off.
Yeah.
Natural hair, natural charisma into the role. He had it. He already had it. They'd have been foolish to pick anybody else.
Oh, my capes. That will never not be funny. My capes. Oh my God. But I'm glad, even Solo, which I think, in my opinion, to this day, it's just like bad release timing.
I think so. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
I think it was just bad release time because it was Memorial Day or Memorial Day weekend or something like that.
It was Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, and just it wasn't a lot of push. And there wasn't a strike involved. It just wasn't a lot of push.
But then it goes back to the studios themselves, because when a project comes out, it's up to them to determine how much advertising, how much promotion that they're going to do on these films. We've seen it time and time again where people are like, why didn't this movie get promotion? Case in point, Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle got little to no promotion, but it was word of mouth by everybody who watched the movie that put it out that you saw this movie gross grow.
True.
But when you got a bald guy in business, in power, name is Steven, and his mom was not good to him, he's really like, I'm gonna do what I want to do it. I don't even care. I don't worry about these fans. I don't care about them. I don't care less. Mom made me eat porridge. I don't care anymore. What are we gonna do?
I still don't know what porridge is. I always thought it was oatmeal.
No.
So, but that's just the representation side of things. Now, when you talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, look, I've mentioned it in our chat that my local bookstore, Carolyn Johns, free plug, free plug, because you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. They do an awesome thing every year. They do awesome things all the time throughout the year, but they have a Christmas party. At this Christmas party, they'll have it on mute because it's just so many people in the store, but they'll play Christmas related episodes of different genres. And one of those things is the Christmas episode from Star Wars. B. Arthur, Harvey Korman. I still can't believe that happened. Was it Lola Falana that was in there as well? It was a star-studded event. Yes, Mark Hamill was in it as Luke. Yes, Harrison Ford was in it as well. Everybody that was in the film was on this special. They had an animated Boba Fett special on there and everything. It's just hard to swallow. But it's with the cheese factor, so it worked for this time. It was the 70s. What do you expect? But
Chris is in pain right now, y'all.
It is. Watching it. I'm recalling because, like, I actually stood there in that store and watched it. I'm like, good Lord, I've never seen this thing in its entirety at all until that point. Like, I seen parts and pieces like on YouTube and everything. to actually stand there and look at it. And I'm like, I am enthralled. Number one, I was impressed by how many known people was in it. Because at a time where it was, if you're a movie star, you might get like a special appearance on like a television show, but you didn't stay for the entire special. That was kind of odd to me. So to see the actual cast show up, to see Chewie's family, good Lord, I still can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
Lumpy? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you stood in the store and watched the whole Christmas special?
I stood in the store and watched the whole Christmas special on mute because it had the captions on it, and I was holding conversations at the same time.
Was this another situation where you accidentally left your wife in the car?
No, this
Wow.
was that happened once, and that was during the day.
Yo, well,
She knows about
Wow.
And it wasn't there neither when I did that. But no, it's a Christmas party. They have a Christmas party, they have a Black Friday party, they have a free comic book day party. They have midnight sales and everything. So this was just one of them things. I'm like, hey, I'm going to the Christmas party, see you tomorrow morning. Or, because it was like I wouldn't get home till like 1, 2 in the morning anyway. She's knocked out. So one of those things, just hanging out with some people that I know, one of my sister, and just watching this thing. And we just like, I can't believe this actually happened. I can't believe this actually happened. Once again, just like the prequels, this was a time where merchandise was a thing. Toys, cartoons. Yes, they had an Ewoks cartoon in the early 80s.
They did Saturday mornings.
Yeah, and they banked on that whole generation of kids who watched Star Wars, who got introduced to the Ewoks. Just like, hey, I'm looking for the one. If you like the Ewoks, that's one thing. But then you might be looking for Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, R2, any of the main cast. They might make a pop-up, and then you don't see them again. And I was like, that's how they sold stuff. They sold tons of merchandise over decades. And they still do. They still do.
I was that one kid that wished Rankin Bass would have done an animated Star Wars movie just to see how they would handle fight scenes. The saber battles.
You mean like Heat Miser?
Oh no! I'm talking about when they.
Okay, you're talking about the animated version.
Yeah, when they did the company that did the animated Lord of the Rings, which was absolute fire. I ain't gonna lie. That was how we got introduced. So take I thought you meant oh
stop
no
motion stuff.
No,
like Rudolph style. Like
Heat Miser and Cold Miser with lightsabers.
That animation would have had Darth Vader looking like Dark Helmet from Spaceballs.
The closest we'll ever come is Robot Chicken. I'm just saying.
That part.
But they that was they were pumping out anything they could, and so that's why the prequels coming out and not being that well received, they don't age visually, doesn't age well. Visually doesn't age well, but storyline is fine. And this is why there's always the moments where they say we got to get the kids into it. This is what the kids are watching. This is what the kids now. Those same kids are either in their early 20s, or not early 20s, but their mid 20s, early 30s, and they're watching shows like Ahsoka, Andor, Obi-Wan. So the same merchandise that they're pushing is to us.
Yeah. 99, 02, 05, yeah.
Yeah, it's to us now. They don't care about the 4 or 5 year. That's our jobs now. It's like, no, sit down, kid. We're gonna watch this. You about to get cultured today.
We're gonna go to the
what's
one.
going
We're
on
gonna go to the
with Kira
one
right now.
money.
Can I ask what's going on with Kira right now? I've been watching her face for the past 45 seconds, and
That's something wild to say.
she does, and I'm waiting for
When
this.
is that? She does. She's holding on to something. I will
She
say that.
is.
She really is.
Lit it fire.
She's like
Wait.
She's a kid sitting
I'm
on
gonna lit you fire. Do not hit the windows. We're still in space. That's all I'm saying. We got to land somewhere. I mean,
No, I'm not sneak watching Ahsoka. And he said a thing, and it made me go, he said the thing in my head, and it showed on my face.
So you kept doing one of these. So you've been watching for a while then. Because you kept doing
no. I just saw. I was like, oh
yeah.
Let me just see.
For the people that are watching and listening, I want you to understand there's a reason why she's watching it now, because she's going to watch it more than once. If I know anything, she's watching it more. If any, all of us are. We're watching this thing more than once. It's that good of a show. It's just that fucking good of a show.
But I'm here. I hear y'all.
Are you though?
Are you?
What'd you say? That Lord.
Contact and everything.
Hold on.
I see y'all. I see y'all. Woo woo.
Misa say, speak your mind. Misa say, do it.
Sticking cocaine.
That's not what you say. Misa say, do it. Do it. Do it, Luke boy. Do it.
He did the thing. He did the thing, buddy. He did the thing. So, wow. There's a lot we can really say about the entire franchise, but this is the part I really love, is the theorizing and the story knitting that's being put together. Especially these past 10 years, maybe.
Yeah,
at best.
I would say 5.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and this dude, like, I mean, if you think in Clone Wars, okay, yeah,
closer to 7.
Yeah, we got. I mean, if you're thinking about Clone Wars, Rebels, Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, there's a nice knit going on. Because now you're filling in gaps. Because one thing a lot of us always said is like, okay, don't get us wrong, we love the Skywalker clan. We love them. There's a lot to be. That's what we came up with. That's what we were introduced to. That's what it is.
Respect.
But what about everything else, or everyone else, or what else is out there? And now we're starting to get that.
Yeah.
There's better stories being told.
And that's why you said, that's why you said earlier that you wanted to see the original trio together one more time. Like, no, let it go. It's for me, it was fine that we didn't see them, because I feel like they over rely on the, like you said, the Skywalker side.
They do over. I will say that. I will say that.
That 8th movie, as much like that, out of the 3 of those movies, I was the most fine with that movie. Let it die. Move the fuck on. Let it go. I was completely, okay, this is the direction we're going, and then they didn't. So, but Lainey, I agree with you. Like, Luke and Leia, their story has been told. There's literal galaxies worth of galaxies of stories that could be told. And it's not all about Luke and Leia.
No, my thing was saying, like, especially knowing that Luke exiled himself. Basically, he basically did the same thing Obi did. He did the same. He exiled himself, and I'm like, how many times are y'all going to exile yourself? Like, you keep saying, but your sister's out there, so I'm like, at least see your sister.
They force talk to each other.
The force talk. That's what they did too. I was just like, that's what they did.
Exactly.
You know, I kind of wanted to see that part of it, you know, because we got Harrison and Chewie getting back on the ship. There's your nostalgia over there.
Yeah.
You know, we got Lando coming back into the fold. We got that right there. I just would have loved to see Han, Luke, and Leia one last time.
It would just feel right. Just that, you know, it's familiar. And then so, you know, when they start doing the nostalgia stuff, you know, death happens afterwards. It's like, why did we stop this? just
I mean, because if at that point they really were shooting the nostalgia mark, they were they were fan servicing, and I'm not gonna lie, I was here for it, for the fan service. I was fine with that. She's seen something quite incredible, and I can't wait to watch it. So I was fine.
Stop that shit,
girl. You're about to explode. Okay, I don't need that on the screen. All right,
put it in the chat. Just don't spoil it.
I don't want to see it, because now you're gonna make me stay up until 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock watching it.
Do I need to start putting out more butt jokes just so we can be distracted by this? Because come on now.
But
come on now.
She's
being a whole ass right
Kill
now.
your camera. Kill your camera now.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Thank you. Yo.
At any rate, if it was just to see that again, was fine. And so I'm not completely opposed to what Lainey said. I know exactly where she's coming from on that. Just me seeing that original, well, 4 if you want to count Chewie.
Yeah.
Seeing that trio together, or just seeing R2 shut down. He was like, yeah, I shut down for a reason because I'm sick of this shit. That's what he did.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's what R2 did. R2 said when Luke left, R2 shut down. R2 was like, I'm so sick of this shit. I've been keeping all y'all motherfucking secrets. I keep telling this gold motherfucker over here what's going on. He ain't listening. Fuck all y'all.
R2 went on strike.
Right. R2 was the first droid to go on strike. Like, I am sick of this mess. You know, you could say this a lot of time in the long run. Just told him who your doggone daddy was.
I was like, I tried telling Luke. Like, I tried telling Luke who that man was on Dagobah, but he misread what I was saying. I don't know what he thought he was thought. Then I tried to tell him who his daddy was. He once again, he ain't listening to what I was trying to say. I'm sick of all y'all. All y'all. R2 was the Bernie Mac of Star Wars.
I told Leia how to destroy the Death Star. Literally, you had it in 5 seconds. You knew how to destroy the Death Star. Do you really need a whole squadron? I'm just saying. One itty bitty exhaust port.
That's it. I will say this. Watching R2 actually murder in the prequels, I was just like, oh, he a GG. Okay.
He kind of had no remorse.
You can't even see his face expressions change. He has no face. So whatever happens, happens. Okay.
I didn't tell you to step into that oil, all that oil, but you know.
But you did.
But you did. So
more of a you was in the way situation.
You was in the way, so I needed you out the way.
Who's the new little droid?
Yay, Kara's back. Okay.
Yay. BB-8? You talking about BB-8?
No. I don't know.
Oh, Chopper's from Rebels.
What? He's a psychopath.
Chopper
is for the shit.
You think R2D2 is with the shits?
For the shit.
Chopper has none to give.
That's a whole psycho.
Chopper's been in the deficit since day one.
Chopper
He's
said
been in the
Chopper
negatives, y'all.
Chopper is more along the lines of it's gonna be you, it's gonna be me, and I choose me.
Every time.
The fact that Hera talks to him in such a manner, she was like, "Did you check under there?" He was like, "Oh, okay, never mind. I got it."
which by the way, goes to show she was going through his shit.
They belong together.
It was a bonding. It was a bonding.
So the entire franchise definitely has some ups. It has more ups than downs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I can honestly say that because it's very hard to take a franchise and go this long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and still keep the attention of the original people, the original fans, to grab the attention of new fans, of new kids. I'm like, you're doing a great job doing this. You really are. And now it's kind of like it's almost coming full circle to a degree, because now you've introduced, starting with Rebels and Clone Wars, you've introduced another generation and another group of characters for people to care about.
Chris, your timing is impeccable. I'm just going to say that right now. And
that's why they call me Fury.
Oh my God.
That's why they call me Fury. I'm not even watching it. That's called happy accident.
I mean, as soon as we're done, I gotta sit in front of my TV again. Damn it!
You say that like you're complaining.
I'm caught up on One Piece. I don't even care anymore. Okay.
Caught up on One Piece.
Yeah,
that's impressive. I'm still in the 900s.
Thank you for your service, sir.
I mean, I'm right there with him. I'm like,
yo, that last episode. Oh my God.
We'll do that later. But I want to hear from you guys what this entire franchise actually means and how you got introduced and what it meant to you. want to start with the ladies first, but I'll start with the griot of horror.
Yeah,
I'll give my second of command a moment.
I'm always ready to go, but go ahead.
Like, I don't even care what you got to say.
Well, I mean, Sarah, if you want to go first, my
Lloyd knows what I, even when I'm out. I mean, Lloyd knows. He knows.
That is a sound clip for ages. I mean, listen, I got introduced actually. I think I told Kara this, and she laughed at me. For a very long time, I thought Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, because my mom put it on VHS. And that's all I knew. So I was like a teenager when I found out New Hope. I was like, oh, New Hope came. Thought it was the first two. I mean, the second two, whatever. But that's how I got introduced. Been a lifelong Star Wars person before I knew it was a fandom, because that's what I watched on Saturday. Repeat. I could probably put it on and repeat everything that's happening word for word, verbatim, like Empire Strikes Back and New Return of the Jedi. I mean, this for me was always escapism. I love just going somewhere, okay, and seeing so many different things. My mom was a Trekkie. I was not really a Trekkie, because I felt like at the time that was more of an adult thing, and I felt like this was a little bit more youthful. So seeing like just worlds and being introduced to different things was awesome. And then for me, it wasn't about Lando, to be completely honest with you. Like, my first introduction of blackness in Star Wars was Samuel L. So that's why it was so important that I have his lightsaber. I got that lightsaber, one of my favorite things in the world.
Still one of the most highly sought after lightsabers.
Listen,
to this day.
I got that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'll fast forward to now, like legit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I seen Reva, I cried, because like yo, first of all, the fact is that a lot of times Black Hollywood does not get our hair right. I know that might mean nothing to like the overcompensant of Star Wars, but just as me as a Black woman, seeing another Black woman with a nice hairdo that's not overly masculine.
Tell the truth.
Okay,
come on now. Tell the truth.
And that made that brought tears to me. But then just to see a Black woman, don't get me wrong, I know that there was a former stormtrooper in episode 9, you know what I'm saying, who was also with Finn, but like that, she was to me the first one. You know, there's even Saw Gerrera's sister. Like, you know, there are others, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit up here and say that Reva was the first, but for me, as far as a big introduction to what could be a major character, and if they're going to either extend Obi-Wan or extend her story further in other content, I would love to see it. I would line up to see it.
I'm not gonna lie, when we covered Obi-Wan, that was the one thing I kept coming back to, is like, I don't know who's doing this sister's hair.
That's a fact.
Over there. But that shit's laid out, and I'm here for it.
Yes.
And she was like, front, and she was front and center. She wasn't hidden. All of it. All of it.
Something you can see walking down the street to a regular person. And then for me to think about trying to cosplay with my locks, I could just do it and not really worry like that. Like I said, I know that that's not a Star Wars thing. That's more of me just being a Black woman, but that's what I identified with. That's
and they tried coming for her. And
they did.
They tried coming for her, but Black Twitter and they were like,
And they
we're not
this
gonna
was
do.
ours.
What we not gonna do.
Black Twitter saw the black hat in the air. Like, not
like, what we not gonna do. What about you, Lady Mandela?
This franchise is ingrained in me. It is a mark. It is a foundation.
Lady Mandela.
Shut up. It's a mark on my goddamn soul. Shut the hell up. I'm trying to be fucking humble and shit. Come in here and fuck up my goddamn vibe. Now I gotta shit. Look, I had balance. I had balance on two sides. You come in here and now I gotta light shit the fuck up. Why?
Could you imagine this was a meeting of the Jedi Council and Will just sat there and set Kira off, and the rest of us are just like,
you just said, he was like, was this part of the plan? It is now. Come on, let's go. We're literally the Firefly crew. I swear to God. Like, was this grenades for what? No. Okay.
Because it's the occasion.
No, but go ahead.
Yeah. This, I can't even remember who got me. I think it was my aunt that introduced it to me. And she's very, very near and dear to my heart. She basically my mama. Like my cousin, that's her daughter. We just traded moms.
Traded parents.
Yeah, we just traded parents. Like she's the person that I tried to emulate as I was growing up. So Star Wars is for me a family thing. Like you can't take that away from me. Despite the toxic people that come in and out of the fandom, for me they're just past. What is it? They're just passing. They're just going through the way station. It's a way station for them to come in and go out. Because for me, Star Wars gives. God, it's fucking corny as shit. It does give me hope. It does let me imagine a place where my skin color, my hair, nothing is that all the outward appearance does not dictate what someone should think of me. Right. It's very, it's a great place to live in my head. People get to fight for what they believe in. Sometimes the dark wins, but most of the time the light comes back with, a intensity of 1,000 suns. So it's I don't want to say I live and die by it necessarily, but it's a good place to develop your moral ground.
I was gonna say, you get a moral sense of right and wrong.
Yeah.
Especially as you grow older. Yeah. And you really pay attention, because first off, as a kid, you're just watching it visually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're already drawn in, but then when you get older and you start really paying attention, you can correlate that stuff with like
current
reality. Like you're just like, yo, how can you call yourself rebel scum when you're doing the total opposite?
Yeah. Art imitating life through Star Wars is distressing at the moment.
Oh my God.
But it lets me know who to fight with, who I'm supposed to be standing with. The things that Palpatine was absolutely for: chaos, disorder, two-facedness. That is not what I'm supposed to be aligning myself with. It's not what I'm supposed to be aligning myself with. He's literally part of the dark side. And now with Ahsoka, she is literally straddling that line. She's gray, but she's leaning more towards the light. She's still in her right. She might get shit done.
That was always the thing.
She might get shit done differently, but she still leans towards the light. And I also want to say she's not in white attire now. She's a light gray Jedi now. She was leaning more towards the dark with the dark gray, and now she's kind of silvery.
Yeah.
I just want to say that's my one piece, because it's
man. Navy.
I'm gonna go back and watch my show though.
1977, going to the movie to see a spectacular like that, it actually helped my nerdiness, my blerdiness to bloom and to grow, because I could connect with every single thing there. Dog fights, conversations, the lightsabers, all of that. And I was already immersed in this, but now I'm looking around the theater and I'm seeing that I'm not alone. I wasn't the only Black person in there, and I wasn't the only kid in there either. And to see this franchise grow as much as it has, and not only has it grown, it has inspired so many other franchises to come out of the dark and create their own fandoms, and to be there in the forefront. And that made me proud. That made me happy, because I didn't feel like an outcast. When people leave the theater, you hear them have conversations about the movie and they saw it, and those conversations are still happening to this very day. In fact, those same kids that I was in the theater with I've probably got kids of their own, and they're taking them to see all of the movies. You know, I mean, I've been a fan of the prequels. I understand their position. I understand their importance. I understand why they had to be. But when you take it back to the moment where they are going and Luke has to fire off into that duct, and your heart is beating and it's racing and you see it, and when it shoots, everybody goes, ah, that's when you know you've arrived. That's when you know you've arrived. It's not just you making the noise, it's the entire theater making that noise. So for me, this was just another step into my road to being a Blerd, and I'm so happy that I got to take it.
Chloe says she literally started crying when she saw John on the big screen. Here's a character that looked exactly like her, same skin tone, hair texture, even down her gap in her teeth. Representation matters.
Yes.
This is so true, so on the mark. It was. I was crushing on her. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was crushing. I'm like, hey, who is this British cutie?
You Chris being a hoe over there.
No. I'm being appreciative of the black woman.
Okay, my bad. You're a star hoe. Okay, got you. Okay,
I'll accept. I'll accept. If Nick Fury can marry a Skrull, why not?
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Black Spartan, talk to the people. What was it like for you?
Shit.
Pretty much all it said.
I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah. 06. My uncle actually introduced me to that. Actually introduced me to a crap load of stuff. Star Wars, Star Trek. Oh dear God, things I probably shouldn't have been watching. But no, when I first saw Star Wars, yeah, I guess it was the fact that it was just an imagination. It was the whole thing of just, I mean, yeah, you always want. I mean, lightsabers. Let's be honest. You hear them. You were making the sounds as a kid. You picked up a broomstick and maybe may have knocked out your sister when y'all was doing lightsaber fights. That's neither here nor there. But no, it's just the imagination part of it. It's the fact of the whole story. Like most things, is good versus evil, but at the same time, you saw Darth Vader made some good points. But no, it's just the whole idea of that. And it's weird I said it. It's that society that's not perfect, but is so far away from us. Like the society that we're used to versus the society of the so-called future, where they don't have the same trivial things that we have, but their differences are still similar. You know, the way I guess I could put that. They're the same, but they're different. And I guess for me, it was just the whole idea of just because I was big on stories, that pulled me in. So yeah. That and the dark side was right.
Lord. Oh, Assassin, what about you?
Y'all are chuckling.
My entire family is about fandoms. My mother's a Whovian.
Yes, I mean that's
rest
great.
their soul. My grandmother is a super Harry Potter person, and my grandfather, rest his soul, got me into Star Wars. It literally would not have been on my radar whatsoever without this man. He was the type that when it was time for bed, he'd just throw on a movie, and I'd be walking past his room sometimes and just like, what is this? Why have you watched this 5 nights in a row now? Like, it cannot be this good. And so rapped with me about it and sat down and watched it. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Okay. Old movies didn't suck all the way. Okay, got it. Now, listen, I'll lay all my biases out there. I thought special effects, there was a certain era where I was like, I can't get into your film. Look at how it looks. But it's like, nah, there is one, like we discussed earlier with the matte paintings and everything. There's a way to do it, and it looks amazing. And two, you can have story that overcomes that. But yeah, man, that was my intro, being able to kick it with my grandfather and watch Star Wars, I'm not going to be rude to episode 9. He made it all the way. He made it all the way to 8, and I was like, "Seems like you checked out at an appropriate time." Cool.
Wow.
But yeah, like even all the content that we still get with Star Wars is therapeutic to me because it's like I get to kick back and it's like I'm a kid again watching Star Wars for the first time with my grandfather.
I was like Navy. My parents were together. We were going to Florida to see my father's people, and we stopped at a store, and that's where I was introduced. I couldn't even tell you the name of the store. I was introduced to lightsabers before I seen anything, and then I seen like the books because like I said, merchandise and comic books and everything, and then that's when I got a chance to actually watch the movie at home, and I was hooked. I couldn't talk about the whole trip back. That's all I was talking about. It was thanks to my mother introducing me to this world. Now, my grandmother, she tried getting me into Star Trek because, she's an older lady. She thought Star Trek and Star Wars were the same thing. I didn't know that she was committing cardinal sins at the time. But so imagine a 5-year-old watching, it was like watching Captain Kirk, and I'm looking for Luke, I'm looking for Leia, I'm looking for Chewie, I'm looking for the droids. I'm not seeing any lightsabers, and yet we were 45 minutes in, and disappointment. I will give my grandmother this grace. She allowed me to make sure to look for every detail possible. Like, this isn't Star Wars. This is Star Trek. But yeah, thank you to my mother. My mother showed me this world. And she's always showed me like different worlds because my uncles were into a lot of comics and nerddom and stuff. So being introduced into this world and just going along for the ride, it's a form of escapism. It's a form of making sense out of reality. It's a form of just getting away and using your imagination. And also just like what Assassin was saying about like special effects and everything, that franchise was never afraid to take chances where it came to special effects and practical effects. They were not afraid. And that's what I can really enjoy, because even with the originals, and then we seen what they did with when they remastered it and tried to add in CGI stuff, and how it was bad bad form, Peter. And they finally, when they got through 7 through 9, and they brought that puppet work back, and it was like, see, it can work. You have the skill set to do it because you had Henson's Workshop, which to this day pumps out great stuff. You can use the puppet work. So seeing that stuff and seeing it work like that, seeing the Force Ghost of Yoda, which is actually a puppet, and just like, yo, I'm okay with that type of fan service. I'm okay with that because you're utilizing a skill set that you had. You didn't have to improve on it. It was one of them things you didn't really have to improve on, and just being in a world like that and seeing all this inclusion, especially now, seeing all this inclusion and seeing these stories actually knit and fit together. Yes, we were up in arms when the mouse stated that a lot of the books weren't going to be canon, and yes, there were pitchforks, there was riots, there was pushback, but I think now what we're getting now, I'm okay, because you're just like, oh, you got the right guy steering the ship. So it seems to be in good hands, and we're not getting disappointed. The chat is going a little nuts. The chat's going nuts, but yeah, they're doing a Laney and Lady Mandalore are doing a power off. This is why you watch us live, because you'd be surprised what goes on. Oh
my gosh! Okay.
But the storylines that's coming across, everything that's being knitted together. This, like I said, this escapism. There isn't a time I can watch any version of this show, of this franchise, it's therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
It's therapeutic. Like, bad day. Oh, what? They showing Empire? All right, okay. I don't care if I didn't catch it at the beginning or not. I'm watching it. And I've gotten that question from my wife. Like, how many times you watch it? I said, it's Star Wars. Enough said.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
It's enough said.
I'm the same way with Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't care where I am in the movie. I will sit down and watch it.
So to sit back and see this world, know the possibilities, and I think that's what really does it, is the possibilities of knowing, and then having that moral compass of saying, what's right and wrong. Even the Jedis weren't completely right, and the Sith weren't completely wrong. However, the Gray seemed to be right on the money.
At least the Jedi didn't kidnap. Well, no, at least the Sith didn't kidnap kids.
Yeah,
I'm just put that out there.
So you have these factions. It's just like I'm more in line with I'm more in line with Mace and Ahsoka at this point. They're just like, we'll get the job done. But it's just we ain't exactly going to buy the book, but we're going to get the job done. So
the murdered kids.
Technically, a Jedi murdered kids.
The Jedi
murdered them babies. They indoctrinated them into becoming youth soldiers in a war that they did not choose to fight in.
Let's talk about that real quick. Yo.
Again, so if you join the dark side, you join willingly.
Watching Clone Wars and Rebels, you pick up on it, but you don't really pick up on it until you watch Ahsoka and you get that shot to the Shadow Warrior episode, and you're just like, oh my God, she was just a baby. Yeah. She was a child leading an army into war.
And it's the Jedi are so self-righteous. You shoot your children soldiers.
So shout out to Ariana Greenblatt. That was me. Baby Gamora, as I like to Gamora.
Baby G.
That's Baby Gamora. I don't care what they say. That's Baby Gamora. So
and the real ass lightsaber. They gave them the real ass lightsabers.
That's the way it was. The real lightsaber.
It was a real lightsaber. It come about the thing. It wasn't even CGI. Will, I'm gonna need you to pay attention right now. I don't understand what you're looking at, but this is serious talk. I don't understand. Don't make me have to use my phone. Excuse me.
This is come from someone who was just watching the soap.
I put it on pause.
You didn't have it on pause before.
I did because he said the thing, and I just let it run a little bit. But it's paused now. That's what matters. I'm here.
Real talk, Yoda was real talk. Yoda, Assassin says Yoda was Charles Xavier. I'm like, Yoda was just like, after a while, I'm a little tired of y'all. Yeah. I'm with the droid over here.
That's why you got booted.
Like I'm with the droid over here. I'm a little sick of y'all shit.
Wow.
I mean, really, all the Sith were doing is trying to tell one story, but kept getting interrupted.
But it's a fantastic franchise, and like I said, good or bad, theories aside, ups and downs, there's way more ups. Sit down, introduce your kids to something, because it's not, you introduce your kids to something like this for a myriad of reasons, right? Nostalgia purposes, but then when you really get into it, like I said, we grew up on this, and we're getting this story, and you really do see the differences, the moral compass. You really understand these walks that these characters are on are intense. Seeing a flashback of Luke when he's training Kylo or Ben at the time, and realizing, dude, you're about to make the same mistake again. Because you were somehow doubting yourself. Like, even Yoda was like, motherfucker, you figured it out finally, right? It was like, this is, but even in that moment, when the temple is burning and Yoda's Force Ghost shows up, and it's just like, finally, would you two talk this shit out? Talk some sense to your man over here, because you were out of pocket. I'm I wasn't done teaching you. I just died because I was tired of hearing you whine and talk all the damn time.
Use the force, Luke.
Just like your daddy whining.
Oh,
like your dad did the same fucking shit.
Damn.
Too soon. Too
It
soon.
was like, where's your sister at? She didn't do half this shit. I don't know, babe.
damn.
He literally did turn over. He put. Can we see this? Like, I'm going to sleep. I don't give a fuck what y'all do.
As Peter Griffin once said, done.
Yeah, right. But
Wow.
This franchise has a massive influence, and I'm glad you mentioned Family Guy because they do a retrospect and an homage to it. Robot Chicken, which is pretty much the same camp of people, they always do homages to it. Star Wars Day. This is a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean one day. It's a weekend. It's what a 4 day. Revenge of the Fifth or Star Wars Day, Revenge of the Fifth, or May the Fourth be with
you. Revenge of the
Fifth. What do they call it? Six. Sometimes they call it Revenge of the Sixth too. Sometimes they do that one.
Yeah, leap year.
You know, so this is like a 3-4 day event. You know, millions and millions of fans tuning in for whatever news. Battlefronts is still one of my favorite games to play because, good Lord, playing through that game and then realizing when you hear over the comms, Vader is coming. And I'm looking at my health bar like, all right, will I pull this off? So, you know, Battlefront, you know, what was the other one? With Starkiller. Force Unleashed.
Oh.
That's a great one.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic. They have some great franchises. It stretches beyond our imagination, and I love this because I love bring in us some new characters. We want more stories. That's fine. You know, I'm glad that we're literally gearing away from the Skywalker clan. I'm glad we're gearing away from that. I'm okay with that. I was never upset about that. I'm like, you want more stuff because it's a fucking universe. Which is why Rogue One was such a surprise. You know, yeah. Like, how did y'all do Donnie Yen like that? Jesus, it's Donnie fucking Yen. So yeah, Republic Commando, Jedi Outcast. Yeah,
I mean, even more recent Jedi games with Survivor and
oh god,
even Jedi Survivor was good.
When you think about all the known celebrities that you didn't know were part of this franchise, and who would have thought that Daniel Craig was a stormtrooper? I still try to watch that scene, and I'm like, I can't hear his voice.
That's still crazy.
For like 2 seconds, ain't
nobody.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't hear. I literally try to hear it. I'm like, it's
like
you telling me, James, but then to turn around, but then turn around and say, yeah, I'm a part of this franchise because they're fans. You know, Greg Greenberg, he's in there. You know, as one of the pilots, seeing these people. Porkin is always funny. That's
Porkin was a real one.
Yeah, he was a real one. One of the pilots. See, Lady Mandalore, go back, watch the originals. He's a big one. He's a big guy. They call him Porkins.
That's why he was in a Y. That's why he was in a Y-wing, not an X-wing.
Was that one of the deleted scenes?
No.
The big dude is named Porkins because mad rude.
You're coming in too hot. It was a failing episode. You're coming in too hot. That's what she said.
All right. So I'm glad that we still get a lot of Star Wars, and I'm glad that we have someone like Favreau and Filoni who are steering the ship and saying, hey, let's kind of bring it back in and let's kind of coast this along, because instead of going here, and yes, they were really spitting out a lot of projects, not Favreau and Filoni, but they were just announcing project after project. I'm like, okay, that's a lot, but slow down. Just bring this in. Let's tell this story that'll tell this story over here, that'll tell this story over here, and tell that story, and then we can go and wave it out, because why not? You know,
you gotta let people breathe. You gotta let people breathe.
Please let them breathe. It's okay to get it. It's okay to get all this stuff.
Ain't no breathing.
You say no,
No
you gotta
breathing.
stay for this. Tafari said Happy Hogan had to do something to get his mind off of me.
Tafari had one worse than that earlier. He said Donnie Yen walked with God the whole movie and then met him at the end credits.
Yeah.
Just
oh my God. So we're heading out of here. This is not going to be the last you hear of us paying homage to this universe. It's just not. We still got Ahsoka going on. I don't even know what they have coming up next, if they have anything done due to the strike. But I like that color. Ooh, I like that one.
Not encourage her behavior.
She's my second in command.
Here's another reason for it.
Number one.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yes. Yes.
We have a Slytherin and a Hufflepuff, and right now the Slytherin.
Oh, I got to go. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go.
Don't do this to me.
We got to go. Lady Mandalore, talk to
Find
me
me on social media.
Hey yo, y'all find me on the things that y'all be finding me on a regular basis. I got to go. I got to go.
She did that.
I'm there. You find me out there. Instagram is a place. I got a link.
Instagram is a place.
Wow.
Good night.
I gotta go. We gotta.
Blessings, manifestings. May the force be with you. I'm out.
We gotta wrap this one up. Come on, lady, talk to the people.
Yo, I'm Geek by Heart. You can find me at YouTube. You can find me at IG. You can find me at TikTok. And Jay plays on the weekends. God of War. Let's go.
Wow.
We got to go. Make it quick.
Jay.
Tighten up.
Navy Martell on IG and X, Road Catnip, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. That's it. I ain't trying to get beat up.
we rolling out of here.
We are Black Fox 447. You know my rules. Don't be a dick.
His was better than mine.
Don't you break the will? Don't you do it well? My dude.
Oh my God. All right, well,
I love this crew.
let's do it. Hey, everybody, if you know who we are, it's the first time here, check us out. IG, Blerd's Eyeview. You can check out the link in the bio. I'm your man, Chris Fury. We getting ready to head out of here because something just happened.
Right.
Like, whatever it is, I'm on board for it. Love Star Wars. Peace, love, hair, grease. Remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others. Most of all, encourage yourself and others. May the force be with you. We out of here.
Hey.